Laura,
Good
hello.
morning.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Full into the swing of things now. I
I
feel.
bet. Is my audio okay?
Yeah, audio's good. I can hear you. If anyone can't
Great.
hear Laura, just let us know in the Q&A. We've disabled the chat for safeguarding reasons.
Fabulous.
Um, okay, so Laura, do you want
Hi.
to introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about you. Who do you work for? Everyone will be very excited about this, and a bit about ITV Academy, please, as well.
Sure. Yeah. So, hi, everybody. Good morning. My name's Laura Skugall. I am the head of ITV Academy, which sounds a bit like a school. And it kind of is. We're here to train and teach people skills around behind the scenes roles in TV. We are the training and development arm of ITV Studios. So, that's the part of ITV that makes shows, actually makes TV shows.
Amazing.
But I've worked in TV for 20 years, doing various different jobs, a lot of non-production jobs as well. Working in TV is a huge industry with lots of different career paths. So that's what I want to chat a bit about today.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay, well, let's start, yeah, by delving a little bit more into your career history.
Yeah.
So give us a bit more about those 20 years? Fantastic.
Yes. Yes.
Congratulations on your 20-year
Well,
anniversary.
thank you very much. Thank you. Um, so yeah, I grew up in Scotland. You might be able to tell from my accent, and I grew up obsessed by television. For me, there was no other industry that I wanted to work in growing up. So I count myself very lucky that I had that vision early on and I stuck to it and it's happened. A bit of luck, quite a lot of hard work. Um, and I went to university in Scotland and I studied film and media studies. And I say that because it's important to know the reason that I was able to go to university is because in Scotland, back when I was growing up, university was free. You didn't have to pay fees. Because otherwise, had I had to pay fees, I wouldn't have been able to go. That I'm from a very working class background. There wasn't a lot of money growing up. So the fact that I could stay in education until I was 21, 22 was amazing. So I could learn all about TV and film and really concentrate on learning about that. And a couple of little things that I wanted to mention about what I did ahead of getting into the workforce was during all of my summer holidays, all of my breaks from uni, and while I was at school, I looked for as much work experience as I could. And that was a little bit of TV work. I was very lucky to be able to be a runner on some TV shows, and that is the like basic entry level job in TV production. It's called that because you do a lot of running about, um, and you're making cups of tea and typing up documents and getting the team who are making the show. You're making sure they are looked after and can get on and work on the show as quickly as possible. But I didn't just work in TV. I did lots of other part-time jobs. Um, I worked from when I was 15. I worked in a shop, like a little local newsagents. I worked in a doctor's surgery as a receptionist. And all of those things really built up my skills that I've been able to transfer into all parts of my career. So being working in a shop and working in a doctor's reception, I was just meeting people all day long, chatting to them, doing a bit of we're operating a till and some stuff there. I was operating computers. So I was just building up a lot of skills, people skills, computer literacy skills so that when I then went through university and I was studying film and media and I came out, I was like, right, I know exactly what kind of career path I want to go into. I want to work in television. And what I had to do back then, and it's not the case now, but I had to move to London because that's where most of the TV opportunities were. So me and a few of my friends from university moved to London, rented a flat, and off we went. And I managed to get my first job in TV within 3 months of living in London. Very lucky. Um, but I went for a job that I didn't understand the job title. And I still don't really understand what the job title means. But what I did was look at what skills are they looking for. And I knew I had some of them. I didn't have all of them, but I had some of those skills. So I went for it and I got the job. And that was at a company called ITN, who make ITV News and Channel 4 News and lots of current affairs programming. And I stayed there for 6 years. And then this is now my 15th year at ITV. I jumped across to ITV and I've done lots of different jobs at ITV in business affairs, which is the legal department, in archive, which is the library department that looks after all of the shows once they've been broadcast. really varied career, but for the last 18 months, I've been working in ITV Academy, and we are the training and development arm of ITV Studios, and we do a lot of outreach work with schools to help educate people on what the jobs are in the TV industry.
I love that. Almost full circle. You're kind of,
Yeah, it's great. It's a good time to do it because I've
yeah.
got I've got experience that I can pass on. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Also, a couple of things that I wanted to mention there. I feel like both
sure.
you and Dan already, both of you have said that, you got lucky, but I really think, from hearing you both speak in the last 20 minutes, you both created your own luck. You both went
Yeah,
out there and really like chatted to everyone that you knew, went and got
yeah.
experience, built up those skills like you were saying. And that is not luck, that is hard work.
Absolutely. And I always say there's a little bit of luck and there's a lot of hard work, because you have to be really resilient. If you're staying across the week for these talks, you will hear the word resilience a lot because you will get a lot of no's, you will get a lot of silence, you'll apply for jobs and not hear anything at all. You have to be resilient and believe in yourself, believe in the skills that you have. And if you are determined to work in a particular industry for a particular company on a particular thing, just keep that belief up as much as you possibly can, and look at other ways that you can build your character and your skills up so that you're putting yourself in the best place at all times to be able to achieve your goal.
Absolutely. Completely. And that leads us very nicely onto, so what are the kind of opportunities that you have at the moment going on at
Yeah.
ITV? Exactly what does ITV Academy create and what can it help the young people watching with?
Great. So we have a number of opportunities of how to get your foot in the door into ITV, but I can kind of talk across industry as well. So at ITV, we run various work experience programs throughout the year. They're very ad hoc. They can come up at any time because the way that TV shows are made is there's not really a set time that they're always made. There are some shows that always happen at certain times of year. So maybe I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. That's always on air November time. So, but a lot of shows just kind of they are made, they are commissioned, which is the kind of starting process of a show being made. And then we'll figure out what kind of how you make up getting the crew together to kind of get that show made. So we have work experience happening throughout the year. So I would encourage everybody, if you are interested in a career in television or just thinking about that as an option, please follow ITV Academy and ITV Careers on social media. Sam will be sending out a lovely pack afterwards with all of our information. But we're advertising most of our stuff on social media and our website. So that's work experience. We also bring in apprentices every year, usually every year. And our apprenticeships can be sort of 12 or 18 months or 24 months. So that's where you're working, you're actually doing a job for most of your time. And then there'll be 20% of your time that you are spent doing a qualification. And that qualification can be completely varied depending on the apprenticeship that you apply for. But our apprenticeships start every year in September, and we ask people to apply for those now. There's a few of them live on ITV's website now. We usually recruit across February and March with people ready to start in September. So it's the ideal for people coming out of education. You hopefully might be available in September, so that's a great time to look at those. The other thing that ITV Academy does is something called production traineeships. So if the area of TV that you are interested in is actually working in production and working on making TV shows, we run traineeships throughout the years, and those traineeships are craft specific. And what I mean by that is we have traineeships that are as varied as you could be a lighting trainee, where you're looking at the lighting in a studio or the lighting on a TV set. We've got production journalism trainees. We've got hair and makeup. We are really varied. And again, we rely on knowing what shows we have that are being made, and we'll figure out which traineeships we can put onto those shows at any one time. And I think that I'm just having a look at my notes. That's
Yeah.
everything we do in the entry level. So it's work experience, traineeships, and apprenticeships.
Great. And there's a couple, like you said, live right now. So go
Yeah.
check them out. Also, really interesting. I love that you mentioned craft because I feel like that's a
Yes.
whole area of film TV that people
Yeah.
have no idea existed, but there's like an
Yeah.
entire category for it in the Oscars and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, like no one knows that.
exactly. Yeah, there are so many. I mean, I give a lot of talks to school age students, and I talk about there are just so many jobs. I could fill a whole 15 minutes just listing jobs that you can do in the TV industry. But a couple that kind of spring to mind, on a lot of our shows, we have carpenters who build our sets. So that's people that are incredible at woodwork. So they're building our sets, they're building our, our drama sets, things like that. We've got electricians because we need to have lights on in our studios and lights on our TV sets. We have painters who are genuinely, they are painting floors and ceilings and walls. And on some of our big sets that are used all the time, they're having to touch things up, because the paintwork gets damaged. There's so many sort of those kind of real skilled tradespeople jobs that people don't think of in the TV world. And then there are ones that are slightly more obvious that are quite crafts, which are hair and makeup and costume and design. But then there's, as varied as our cameras, our lights, our sound teams, our riggers who kind of build the framework of some of our sets. The list is endless. There's kind of there's so many jobs. And then there's all the behind the scenes jobs. The one kind of unsung hero of most TV shows are the accountants, the production accountants that are watching the money that's being spent and making sure that everyone's kind of got what they need at any one time. But if you've got a real skill in accounts and maths and those kind of skills, there's a career for you in TV for sure.
Absolutely. And if it wasn't for those accountants, we probably only have two shows a year because they will have overspent so
Absolutely.
much, they spent all the budget on just one show.
Exactly. So, and ITV is a commercial broadcaster, which means we're able to put on shows because of the money that we make from our commercial, our growth around advertising and sponsorship. So yeah, we absolutely need accountants to keep us on track.
I love that. And so finally, in the last couple of minutes that we have,
Sure.
what is your ultimate advice for young people who want to get their foot in the door of the TV world?
Great. Okay, so I like to say try not to worry too much about what job to aim for. There's a lot of buzzwords about what's your dream job. Really just think about what skills do you have or what are you good at? What makes you happy and work from there. So everything I said about, I was working on a reception desk and I liked interacting with people. So I'm able to put good people skills as top of my CV. That's what I say. I don't talk about my job history. I talk about the things that I'm good at, the skills that I have. So don't worry too much about if you don't know what job you want to do. Just think about what you're good at. And then start to think about what industries you might be interested in. So is it TV? Is it film? Is it publishing? Is it games? In the creative industries, there are so many sort of sub industries that you could look at. So then think, okay, I've got my skills and I've got the industry. How do I kind of make that work? The thing I say about if TV is your thing, watch lots and lots and lots of it. Watch lots of content. Lots of people tell you not to have too much screen time. I'm not one of them. Please watch as much content as you like, and then check who makes that content. If it's shows and content that you love, figure out who makes it. And what I mean by that is what's the production company that makes it. Make a note of those production companies so you start to give yourself a bit of a list of companies that you like what they make. So at the point when you're ready to get out into the world of work, you've almost got your list of who are my first points of contact. You can then figure out how to get in contact with those companies through their social media, through their websites. You might hear a lot this week of people talking about LinkedIn, and LinkedIn profiles are really, really great because you can search for people that work at those companies. So watch lots of content, find out who makes it, and that starts to become a bit of your network. That you can start reaching out to. And there are loads of free online stuff that you can be doing whilst you're still in education. A huge tip that I always give everybody is look at Screen Skills website and their offerings. They've got loads of free training, courses and interviews with people that do lots of different jobs in TV. You're already connected with the Eric app, which has got an amazing amount of resources on there. So you're already halfway there.
I love that quick last minute Eric app plug. That's
Absolutely.
exactly what we like to hear. Okay. Thank you so much. You heard it from the lady herself. Go watch TV. Go watch more TV. That's what you need
I'm
to do.
so sorry. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
I'm happy with that.
Send your parents my way if they're upset with me.
I feel like I'm allowed to justify how much TV I watch.
Absolutely. I
Um,
am.
Thank you so much, Laura. That has been absolutely fantastic. We have had a couple of questions for you, but we will
Okay.
be sending them over to you afterwards.
Yes, please do. Very
Um,
happy to answer them and stay on for Lauren at Sky. She's amazing with loads of
yes,
advice.
from ITV.